7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Greetings, everyone. This is me again, Zahara Basak. Come to help the Muslims leave Islam, even the Ismailis. So now, today, with more concentration on Ismailism on this Surah Nur, Ayat 35, that Allah is the light. Going there, I'm not quite prepared. I think. So from here, yeah. I was going on my other mobile, thinking, where's that? Surah Nur Ayat 35 says, I think, that Allah is the light, and not much on Sunni Islam, but right now on Ismaili Islam. Going down. Surah Nur Ayat. Oh, this is the Ismaili.net heritage. The Surah of Light describes the Nur. There is one post on the forum. So this is by Samir Ziz, June 4th, 2007. Okay, I found so I was reading all this, just telling you that I was reading this, and now I haven't opened, I guess I don't see it. Surah Nur Ayat 35. Quran.com. So it's the same ayat in Ismailis, also the same, right? Allah is the light of the heavens and the earth. The example of his light is like a niche, and it is a lamp. The lamp is in a glass. The glass, as if it were the glass, as if it were a star, brilliant, lit, is lit from a tree, blessed on olive. An olive, not of the east and not of the west, would almost its oil glow, even if not touched with fire, light upon light. Allah guides to his light whom he wills, and Allah sets forth the examples for the mankind, and Allah of everything is the all-knower. Right, so now Allah is the light, and this is very metaphorically put. What is this light? Since I found out through Peter Russell's book and some things in his book from Science to God, and then his lectures, explanations, and presentations on YouTube. You can find his videos on YouTube. So on that light is fundamental, and so this is not a creationist thing. It's Allah is not a creationist. Then what I came from that learning that Allah is, or this is a manifestation of this light, right? So this is what I wanted to find out, and thanks to Peter Russell so much. In simple language, telling us, explaining it to us, showing us, telling us about the light, demonstrating what light is. And if you see through the light's eyes, what do you see? So if you're going to think that, Oh yes, I've left Sunni Islam, but I'm going to go to Shia Islam. Twelver or Ismailism. So think twice. So Allah is the light. You can see the footnotes. The Sunnis here, the source and bestower of light and enlightenment, and Sunnis have many hadiths which the ex-Muslims have given, and against them, against Islam on the whole, as they see it. But for a Shias, it would be true Islam is either Twelver Shia and so this is or the Ismaili Shia. So getting to the Ismaili Shias, I know that this Imam will not kill me, will not beat me up, and that doesn't mean I'm taking undue advantage of his goodness, but with due respect to him. And so that's why I'm not showing the Sunni more like what is the meaning of this, but Allah guides to His light whom He wills. Um, Allah sets forth parables to make people understand, not even believers, but people, so that they can become believers, I guess. Right? What He actually means by that. Now, think about it, right? The way Peter Russell has related light to consciousness, or what I call pure awareness, it could be that you could go to a Hindu, and if he's a true master, true guide, he will tell you to do this method of meditating, like Shiva. What was Shiva? The nothingness meditating on. And, this is the way we were taught our ancient Vedas or Vedanta, Advaita, loosely put, like that. You can get to the consciousness by being still. A Bible verse, there's a Bible verse which says, be still and know I am God or I'm your Lord. And so Judaism also has this light, and so does Christianity have this light. In John 1, it said, U version uses cookies. Okay, so let's just, this is U version website, I think. And John 1 says, this is 1 John 1. That which was from the beginning, that which we have heard, that which we have seen with our eyes, that which we beheld, and our hands handled, concerning the word of life. So leave behind the brackets, what it says here in the brackets. That which we have seen and heard declare we unto you also, that you also may have fellowship with us. Was the light one. So skipping some here, and this is the message, John 1 John 5 verse, fifth verse of 1 John 1, or no, 1 John 5, then it would be like that. And this is the message which we have heard from him and announce unto you, that God is light, and in him is no darkness at all. If we say that we have fellowship with him and walk in the darkness, we lie. So God is light. God is light. You can see this. So what has Jesus and these things we write, that our joy may be made full. God is light. John 1 John in 1 John verse 5. And in him God is light, and in him is no darkness at all. If we say that we have fellowship with him and walk in the darkness, we lie. And if we walk in the light as he is in the light. Now, they say that God is in the light, but it should also be, actually, it should be that God is light. We have fellowship with one another, and as he is in, oh, maybe Jesus is in the light. So we have fellowship with one another, and the blood of Jesus, his son. I don't know, maybe God is in the light too. It's put this way. So these scriptures really make me like nervous and confused. Um, Allah is the light. Oh, here I opened. Allah is the light. Surah Nur, Ismaili.net. Uh, I don't know whether I should a little bit maybe go there. So what's really right, right? To have an imam and then no one would take that light from you. He's the guiding light if you follow him, obey him, his farmans and all sayings, whatever he tells you to do. What is good? For all people, like whoever, or becoming a Shia, believing in Muhammad, obeying Allah, and what is good? I don't know. I think that is the other one is better, the Hindu way. Allah is the light of the heavens and earth. So here describes the Noor. Thank you, Samir Ziz. Thank you, Smiley. No copyrights infringement intended. Smiley.net heritage. Smileyheritage.net, I think it is. And this is now Smiley.net forum, okay? Also, there's a thanks and Yali Madad. Quran speaks to mankind in allegory and parable. Hence, there can be many interpretations depending upon the orientation of the interpreter. Thank you, Gamahar, Gamahar Ali. Oh, sorry. K. Meher Ali. K. Meher Ali. Thank you so much. So, Quran speaks to mankind in allegory and parable. Hence, there can be many interpretations depending upon the orientation of the interpreter. So many problems. You see, one Quran, many problems. The following is an interpretation that best accords with our tradition. Even one Abrahamic religion, so many problems. The lamp symbolizes the institution of imamat. Glass. Now, this is according to the Smileys. Glass. His handsome body with a radiant face, transparency and purity through which the light shines with greatest intensity, oil, special knowledge, holy blood. Yeah, blessed tree, blessed ancestry of the Imam. Neither of east nor of the west, the special knowledge is not the property of one particular place, or should we say even a religion or a sect. It is universal. So, like the verse says, for the people, the prophets appeared in all lands. Yeah, but that's not universal thing. Uh, I don't consider this universal. Not a particular place. It should be not even a particular for a particular religion, organized like this one. The oil is. You would say, oh well, there may be people, false gurus, like we have here in India or somewhere else in China and other places, false masters that could cut away your light. Yeah, that's debatable, but let's see. But it should be universal, available for anyone and everyone so easily. Whoever wants to know who God is and connect with this God, divine light. That's what I believe in. The oil is well nigh luminous through, though fire scarce touched it. The Imamat is a self-perpetuating institution, independent of any external agency. Is not guided or influenced by anyone or elected by people. Light upon light, Imamat is perpetual and never ends. So something about the Ismailis is very consistent in these things, and it knows how to describe and tell us properly through the Imam of the time. Very good, actually. So I chose Ismailis. If you ever come to this, first and foremost, right now for this live stream, Imam after Imam, the guidance continues forever until there's life in us and there are human beings. The significance of the niche is that it has a shining surface which reflects the light. Now, no one has explained it this way. I don't even think the 12 Shias, religious scholars, could, even though they should have been connected with the Imam of the time, Imam Mahdi. So I could go to multilingual Quran and show you. And illuminates the room. Niche is also considered to be a safe place, out of reach, and hence protected. Hence, the light is protected by the niche on the one hand, and it is not diminished by it on the other. We can find other interpretations at untiredwithloving.org, haki underscore light.html. Light upon light, God is the light of the heavens and the earth, likeness. Surah Nur ayat 35, kindled from blessed oil. So you can see the Ismaili by Al-Waiz R.D. Sharif. Interpretation and translation of this Quran ayat. To see Ismaili, I wonder. Likeness of this light is a niche, is same as the Sunni Quran has, right? Light upon light, God guides whom He pleases, which could shine through being touched by, without being touched by fire. I think, yeah, kind of same. Before we endeavor to interpret the Quranic symbols, it is better to make it plain as to what we mean by the four garments, travel, acquired strangers. You can read all these functions, and you can read from the forum .ismaili.net, and thanks to K. Meher Ali again for explaining all this. This according to Psychological Heart and Sense and source, the Ismaili Literary Critic Souvenir, July 1966, published by Shia Imami Ismaili Association, Nairobi, Kenya, pages 41 to 49. Thanks to Rai Hussein Khan Muhammad for providing the source to this article. Khushali Mubarak. With prayers for peace, happiness, and barakat and nur in our lives always, and that the shelter and guidance of our beloved Imam. Ameen. Again, thanks to K. Meher Ali on this Ismaili forum. Okay, now I wanted to find out Imam Musa Kazim, the 12er Imam, split where it happened from Imam Jafar Sadiq's sons or Imam Ismail. Ismailis have more stronger thing in that the lineage. Fatima, the mother of Ismail, was Imam Hassan, and Imam Ali's granddaughter, Imam Hassan's daughter or granddaughter, something like this. So I searched out. They call him, the Ismailis call him about Ismail, their Imam Ismail after Imam Jafar Sadiq. This is important because they call him Ismail al-Mubarak. For the 12er Shias, where the split happened between the Shias, 12er Shias and these Ismailis, Nizari, the Imami Ismailism. So Abu Muhammad Ismail ibn Jafar ibn Muhammad, I wanted to find out who actually his mother is. So his mother, I checked Imam Jafar Sadiq, Sadiq's two spouses he had, sorry. And so his Ismaili, and the Ismail, son of Imam Jafar Sadiq, his parents' mother, Fatima bint al-Hussein al-Athram ibn al-Hassan ibn Ali, mother. So is this Imam Hassan's from Imam Hassan? So very close. The other one, Imam Musa Kazim, this is a stronger thing that, okay, he's definitely this Imam has a stronger lineage connection. with Fatima and Ali. Then Imam Musa al-Qasim for the 12 Shias, because Imam Musa al-Qasim's mother being, um, I don't know who, his father was Jafar, but his mother was her parents, Hamida Khatun, and I don't know about her progeny. So this definitely something not good. No, not a strong lineage. If Hamida, I don't know who, maybe if she was not the daughter of Hussein or, Imam Jafar Sad, no, or Hassan or Imam Sajjad, who was after death of al-Sadiq, family of Muhammad. I haven't read all this, so I'm not sure who his mother actually was. What was her lineage? I just know the name. According to Sunni historian al-Tabari, al-Mahdi had a dream in which Ali ibn Abu Talib berated him for imprisoning his progeny. Who's al-Mahdi? Which apparently compelled the Caliph to set al-Qasim free after he pledged not to revolt against the Caliph. So the Abbasid Caliph, right? Not after he pledged not to revolt against the Abbasid Caliph, Imam Qasim, Imam Musa Qasim. Reign of Musa al-Hadi. Musa al-Qasim did not lend his support to the 786 revolt of the Alid pretender al-Hussein ibn Ali al-Abid. Who was he now? Pretender. Reign of Harun al-Rashid. No. And then this light is lit. So back to inner meaning. Oh, and you can even check this one, the inner meaning of Tawil on the ismailinosis.com. Ask ismailinosis.com. Right? God is the light of the heavens and the earth. Now the translation on Ismaili, like this one, it can't be. It's can't be wrong or anything. God is the light of the heavens and the earth. The similitude of his light is as a niche wherein is a lamp. The lamp is in a glass. The glass is as it were a shining star. And then in brackets again we need the lamp is kindled from a blessed tree, an olive neither of the east nor of the west, whose oil would almost glow forth. In brackets again, of itself, though no fire touched it, light upon light, God guided unto his light, whom he will. Isn't it whom he wills? Or maybe my grammar has become topsy-turvy. And God speaketh not, maybe this is like ancient kind of some old English way of putting it. Anyways, this is not so important. And God speaketh to mankind in allegories, for God is knower of all things. Mankind. He speaks to mankind in allegories. Why? Why can't he just give like in our interpretation? Maybe he wants to test everyone. You can't get God easily. If he knows mankind that if we got God's help or anything, God even easily, then we wouldn't have value for that because we have this ego, we have this terrible nature, and that's so unfortunate for us. In our interpretation of this famous Quranic ayat known as the Ayat al-Nur, verse of light, the niche symbolizes the Imam's physical body, the lamp with its glass symbolizes his pure soul, again, same as the forum. The blessed tree is Imam's pure lineage, which extends back through the previous Imams, the Prophet Muhammad, the Prophet Ibrahim also, and Adam himself. Uh, uh, a lineage both physical and spiritual from which many great prophets, saints, and sages have come forth. The light inside the lamp which shines and illuminates the darkness like a shining star is the light of Imamat, which is the source of the Imam's virtue, knowledge, and guidance. It is a universal spiritual light. Neither of the EC, it's a universal light. So something about light universal here. Maybe this was stolen, this ayat by Prophet Muhammad. God knows from where. Maybe Christianity, maybe Judaism. Did I show you the Judaism light? God is light. I'll show you that later. No, I don't think so. I did. It is universal spiritual light, neither of the east nor the west, which shines upon the heavens and the earth, illuminating all the seekers of enlightenment. All the seekers, you see, like this is, it should illuminate all the seekers of enlightenment, not only Shia or the one Imam, under the Imam, umbrella of the Imam, guidance of the Imam, or belief in obeying Imam. But here is a contradiction, right? What is the contradiction? There are other ayats which say if you don't obey Prophet Muhammad, then Allah and Prophet Muhammad, what happens to you? And if you don't believe in this, what happens to you? So this is a contradiction. I mean, you see, this is what I'm trying to tell you, that I'm trying to explain, show you. Anyone who seeks the God in this, seeker of God, seeker of truth, should get enlightened, which shines upon the heavens and the earth, illuminating all the seekers of enlightenment. So this should be universal. See, I don't know where my the Ismaili Imam has, with due respect to him, has become really, really deluded. It's very, very shocking to me. And then no, but it's such a belief in him that he's from Prophet Muhammad, his lineage and all. And then when he leaves, may God give him a long life, then he knows which Imam to choose, and this same light in him will go into that Imam, his son or his grandson or his great-great-grandson. When the Imam departs this world, here it is, and hands over the Imamat to the next Imam, one bearer of light is succeeded by another bearer of light. But the light is one and the same. And in reality, there's no change, only light upon light. Last updated March 20th, 2020. So thank you, Ismailis. Thank you, Mom. Sorry. He's supposed to bless me. Thank you, ask.ismailinosis.com. Article of Inner Meaning Tawil of Surah Nur. But this Imam, the Shia Imams are bent on this, that we are the true ones. We are the bearers of this light, right? And under our guidance, you will get lots of light, perhaps, or maybe. But the seeker, it is a universal spiritual light. Neither of the East, it explains here, although in the ayat it doesn't say it is a spiritual light, but this is like a similitude that needs to be explained. And so the Ismaili Imam has given it to his murids to explain this. The light inside the lamp which shines, no, the universal part, spiritual light, it doesn't say. It says it is universal, spiritual, because Allah is the light. So Allah is, that's why they put spiritual here, right? Okay. Explaining neither of the east nor the west. So this made me think, yeah, this means that spirit, it's universal, which shines upon the heavens and the earth. Meaning, Allah is the light of the heavens and the earth. illuminating all the seekers of enlightenment. Now, illuminating inner meaning, Tawil, heavens, earth. Oh, we've got a diagram here. Heaven, signs, ayat figure prominently, Quran. Below, Imam, Bab, Hujjah, proof, Dai, summoner, Madhun, Akbar, senior teacher, Madhun, Asghar, junior teacher, Mustajib, a respondent or initiate. It must be remembered that the Ismaili Dawa hierarchy is based on esoterical knowledge and gnosis, marifa, not material wealth or political power. The concept, well, I will, but Prophet Muhammad really he had this very political. Although we say that no, the politics came from the Umayyads. They wanted to be rulers and all this. But why did Prophet Muhammad change Yathrib to Medina and became a ruler there, head of the spiritual, you would say? But that's also politics, you know. This material wealth spurs the world. Oh my God, how can I help the Ismailis? But with it, I have no light. That's why I have chronic fatigue. I'm disconnected. So, master, there's a master who will tell you, I'm disconnected with this light. But still, you would say, well, how can a blind, devoid of light guide us? Right? So, from falsehood to truth, from blindness to seeing, that's how I'm taking, as I'm going, I'm taking you too. So bear with me. Although the 12 Shias would think, oh, they're enlightened. Imam's blessing, Allah's blessing, Ahlul Bayt's blessing, and then here also, Allah's blessing and all this. Imam's blessing, sorry, excuse me. So we have all this nonsense. Oh, sorry, excuse me. Poor people deceived. And they don't see it. They think they're rightly guided, they're properly guided. We raise in ranks, darajat, we please, whom we please, and over every possessor of knowledge is a possessor of knowledge. Ah. Also, the Quran, the translation is Surah 12, ayat 76. Let me see Surah 65, ayat 12. It is God who has created 7 heavens and of earth, the like of them, the command descends upon among them, so you may know that God is powerful over all things, and that God has encompassed all things in knowledge. Okay, Hudud. You can read all this later on. I'm not going to read everything. So Surah 12, ayat 76. Let's see the Sunni Quran, Surah 12, ayat 76. Keep forgetting. How can I, forgetful, senile, lead you? At least I can lead you to your, at least if I lead you to confusion in your religion, that means that, you know, as I'm confused also. So we will start, every day we start with nothing. Like we don't know where to go, what to do. So, but I know that this is wrong. This much I know. 1276. So he began search with the king. Said Allah would raise and decree whom he will, but over every possessor of knowledge is one more knowing. Let's see what the Sunnis say about it. Yes, yes. Ending with the ultimate knowledge of Allah. Is another knowledge, another knowledge. So I wish the Imam, you see, this is what I expected from my Imam. Very good, yeah, same thing. As in Shia Ismaili, translation of Surah 12, ayat 76. Over every possessor of knowledge is a possessor of knowledge. And so could have been our Imam or his Murid or his, could have been Peter Russell. You see how he connects light to the consciousness and light together. Same. And then showing us that everything is in the head, inside, not outside. Yeah. Wow, amazing, amazing, right? Fundamental, it's not even energy, it's light. And then how it doesn't have speed, it doesn't have doing, doing any movement. It doesn't have any movement. It's fixed, fixed. No distance, no time, no movement, but it has action of some sort. The action, it, it's like at the same time, off and on, same time, simultaneous. Well, let me show you the Judaism. On Judaism, God is light. Let's see, this just Google search. I'll not go into or is central Kabbalistic term in Jewish mysticism. The analogy of physical light is used as a way of describing metaphysical divine emanations. Oh, here. Okay, I'll go to Wikipedia, but look, get a glow on. JWI, Jewish Women International, a Jewish mysticism. In Jewish mysticism, this primordial light, which cosmologists might call the Big Bang, is synonymous with God, or Ein Sof, a boundless, endless light, says Rabbi Daniel Matt, author of numerous books on Jewish mysticism. So thank you for this article, Jewish Women International website, and but I can't go inside and read the whole thing. The symbolism of light, jtsa.edu, theological seminary. God's light illuminates the universe with justice and righteousness. Each mitzvah or mitzvah we perform, in each Torah text we study enables us to partner with God in ... You can read all that. And also, like, I just want to, in John 1 is the statement God is light, right? Does this idea have any foundation in, I think, Jewish thought foundation? So this is Quora.com. I cannot even go, shouldn't go there. It will get very boring. I'm not prepared though, so please bear with me. Sometimes it's going to take time. Ohr, a light. So in the Kabbalistic term in Jewish mysticism, the analogy of physical light is used as a way of describing metaphysical divine emanations. Shifa, flow. You see, we have shifa in Quran ayats, but it's a different meaning. It's shifa is intercession. There's a flow of intercession, and its derivative, hashpa, influence, are sometimes alternatively used in Kabbalah, a term also used in medieval Jewish philosophy to mean divine influence, while the Kabbalistic favor ohr, because its numerical value equals homonym for Raz, mystery. Raz is also, in Urdu, it means mystery, right? Raz. It is one, and Arabic maybe also. It is one of the two main metaphors in Kabbalah. So light is metaphor. So Allah uses light as metaphor, like God. Sorry, there in Kabbalah and all, it is metaphorically used. Light as metaphor, and then creation of Kabbalah and ascending light from the creations in Kabbalah. So where is it? The Ein Sof, literally without end, limitless, infinite, is the Kabbalistic term for the divine essence. Forms of light. The Kabbalistic differentiated between the manifestations of God, forms of light, and their origin in the divine essence, the luminary. This difference overcame the criticism that they were introducing plurality into the pure monotheism of Judaism. As well as 10 lights, Kabbalah was traditionally restricted to direct teaching in closed circles to avoid such heresies here. As well as the 10 lights of God encapsulated in the Sephirot, and Kabbalah also describes a more primordial light that shines from the Insuf, infinite itself. This light, the origin of all creation and all light, the Kabbalistic and Hasidic masters ask the question of how there can be a revelation of God in the Hor or in Sof before creation. Surely there can be no king without a people. Before creation, there could be no being to behold. This is just interesting. That's why I'm reading it out. For me, it's interesting. And so hope you like it too. Oh, it's interesting for you. Where's my... Sorry, just searching for something here. I have to put this off. Just a minute. Uh, the form of divine self-knowledge. The or in self. Sorry, I may not. Definitely, I think I'm not pronouncing every word of it properly. Some of the words even. So, Ors in self is a form of divine self knowledge, and through God knowing Himself, He created everything with its subsequent historical unfolding and its ultimate purpose in the innermost divine will. Restrictions of divine light. The Zimzam. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce this, sorry. As Orsifer in self is itself infinite light. Any direct creations of the infinite light would be of infinite number. Creations, and they would remain totally nullified to the infinite light and would have no independent self-awareness. Rather, oh my God, this is so interesting. But I can't read it on my own, right? I have to come here and read it out loud. Lights and vessels. The 10 Sephirot. Sephirot describes the emanations or attributes of God in Kabbalah. So this is the Kabbalah Judaism, the Gnostic or mysticism, light that is vested in a vessel, plural, kilim. Generally speaking, the light is simple and undifferentiated, and it stems originally from the Or Ein Sof, the light of the Ein Sof, God's infinite light. So could we say that God is light, divine light? What is this? And God is Betol, nullification. So see, they have so much. Could it have come as Ezekiel when he beheld the divine chariot? The term Radzo creation come from biblical descriptions of the angels or the body. Here, the human soul is the or, cleaving with God and return spirit, inspiration. Oh God, so much to read. 2 levels of nullification of light to the luminary. Very interesting. See how they go into so much. And God, Elohim, said, "Let there be." Divine eminence is universally used in the creation account. I don't know where to put this. My picture account in the beginning of Genesis with the multiple phrases on each day. Geometric. These Jews have more than Muslims, even Christians, even Jewish asceticism, seeking to utilize mystically transform the physical into through divikas, cleaving to God, divine essence. So skipping some here, just only a higher source rooted in divine essence beyond infinite finite duality could unite the infinite encompassing light of Saviv within the limited invested light of Memali. Termed equivalent Rabbi, direct descending light and reflected ascending light. A descending light is a divine emanation from above. It is metaphorically called masculine waters and an arousal from above in Kabbalah based on the verses in Genesis 1 6 to 8 about the upper and the lower waters. And God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, that they divide waters from the waters. Well, that's the second day. Descendant of masculine, descent of direct light. More commonly, the descent of direct light is in response to the ascent from below of a reflected light. This arousal from below, the ascent of feminine waters, is the spiritual illumination created by each person through meritorious ethical or ritual mitzvot, Jewish observances. Wow, amazing, so much. So, who will, you see so many things. Oh my God, we can learn so much from this Kabbalah Jewish. Oh my goodness, this is amazing. Or Moses, Torah, and the Hidden Light. Torah.org. See this one? If I'm not, no copyrights infringement intended. And I hope they don't compromise my email here. Eventually, the goodness and blessing that God had intended for Adam and his descendants would at last find its way to humanity through Abraham and his descendants. So, Moses, Torah, and the hidden light. Let's go to the light. Light. Abraham had bequeathed the potential for light to his descendants, but now Egypt was threatening to smother it. What is this light? Egypt, tight, restricted, closed in Hebrew, Egypt, Mitzrayim means. On the one hand, this restricted aspect, Egypt refers to the fact that it was impossible for prisoners and slaves to escape its borders. On a deeper level, however, Egypt was a spiritual black hole, a place from which nothing could escape, not even light itself. Abraham had bequeathed the potential for light to his descendants, but now Egypt was threatening to smother it. Only with the appearance of Moses and then giving of the Torah would the light's potential revelation be assured. When Moses was born, the entire house became filled with light. You see, this is what I expect when Kalki Avatar is born. With the hidden light, God nourishes the world. Moses, like Abraham, was a man of light, and eventually would lead the Jewish people to a light of their own. This is very good, eventually. With the hidden light, God nourishes the world, Zohar. For the commandment is a candle and the Torah is light, Proverbs 6:23. The light created on the first day was hidden in the Torah itself. Baal Shem Tov, founder of Chasidism or Chassidism. Proverbs chapter 6 or God knows, okay, book 6, no, chapter 6, verse 23, I think. Light of creation. Could it be that the Torah itself is the repository for the original hidden light of creation? Could it be that the light hidden by God, the light that Adam failed to reveal, the light of connection between God and man, is now hidden in the Torah? Consider what happened to Moses after his encounter on Mount Sinai. When Moses descended from the Mount Sinai, and in the hand of Moses were the two tablets of testimony. When he descended from the mountain, Moses did not realize the skin of his face and became radiant from speaking to him. Exodus chapter 34, verse 29. With the experience of receiving the Torah from God Himself, Moses became quite literally a radiant light. It seems that while the light may be hidden, it is far from lost. In fact, the same vessel that contains the hidden light is the vehicle for its revelation. Oh, it's the vehicle. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Ian because our London house neighborhood, Peter Russell actually looks like Ian. Yeah, what else did I? Oh, another thing, like I was telling, answered the reason answer I got such a terrible, impolite way of. He was telling me that you don't stop. I mean, stop telling me what to do. So I was trying to show him. Even this I found in 1 Corinthians, chapter 8, verse 2. Those who think they know something do not yet know as they ought to know. And so, how do you find out? How do you know? You know, Bible Hub, thank you. No copyrights infringement intended. Do not compromise my email. But whoever loves God is known by God. So, so then about eating and food sacrificed to idols, we know that an idol is nothing at all in the world, and that there is no God but one. Or even if there are so-called gods, whether in heaven or on earth, as indeed there are many gods and many lords. Corinthians 6, 8, chapter 8, verse 6. Yet for us there is but one God, the Father, and from whom all things came, and for whom we live, and there is but one Lord, Jesus Christ, through whom all things came, and through whom we live. But but not everyone possesses his knowledge. You see, only through his knowledge can you answer this, not through any philosopher or anything. Thinking also, leave behind your judgments. Some people are still so accustomed to idols that when they eat sacrificial food, they think of it as having been sacrificed to a god. And since their conscience is weak, it is defiled. So only if Paul has given you this way of thinking. Let's see if Paul has given us the philosophical, how Paul has told us to think. And I was kind of cut off, in a rude manner, uh, personal. Although I think if Christian Prince did this to a Muslim, he would still stay there, reasoning, no ego. Some Muslims, but food does. They don't care about their ego. You can call them what you like, but food does not bring us near to. No, this is about food. So I was thinking of in Christianity, you can use your mind to show how true Trinity is, or through Paul's way to show how Paul showed about Trinity. Can you use your mind in Christianity? I'm not telling you like this. Thaddeus blamed me. Those who think they know something. So I was, if Paul is the one who explained Trinity in the best way, right? Now, about food sacrificed to idols, right or wrong, we don't know. We know that we all possess knowledge, but knowledge puffs up while love builds up. That's very important. 1 Corinthians, so going back to in 1 Corinthians chapter 8, verse 1. Now, about food sacrificed to idols, we know that we all possess knowledge, but knowledge puffs up while love builds up. So I was telling them that Paul did this. So, he was like, so how can you be explaining the Trinity in your own words and all this? And philosophers, quoting philosophers and God knows what. I don't know. Guess so. Christians can be. Paul explains Trinity. And I wonder now what the problem is. The heroes on this. In contrast, Romans 8, verse 9. In contrast to the gods many and lords many of the pagan cults, for us believers in Christ, Paul says there's one God, the Father, from whom are all things, and we for him, and one Lord Jesus Christ, through whom are all things, and we through him. Paul and the Trinity, the experience of Christ and the Spirit for Paul's understanding of God. Did Paul teach the Trinity in the Bible? He explicitly defined the Trinity as Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, and defended his theology against praxis. Thank you, whoever has written this in Quora.com. There are 14 other books. Paul and the Trinity, Person Relations and Pauline Letters. The Gospel Coalition. Or maybe, maybe whatever I got wrong, maybe you can take your Christian philosophers describing your religious scholars, priests, and all, describing and explaining, expounding this. But to say, I was like, I just want to understand this, right? If you're coming from this. Someone said that, wait a minute, understanding Trinity and all. It's a very rude answer I got. How shall I put it here? Sometimes, I'm not good at articulating. They got it that I'm, no, I think he got it right, this weirdo. Tedious. Like I said to Imam, apostate Imam. What? Confrontation. I want to have a, confront you. Like, I would like to have a confrontation with you. Confronted. Come face to face, the hostile or argumentative intent. What I meant was, yes, because I disagreed upon many points he's put forth in his live streams, many live streams like this, or some where I've gone, that ex-Muslims haven't helped a lot. Intent hostile. Yes, opposing, resisting, defying. Also this, right? Because I cannot say I agree with him. Very hostile. Like I think I also gave him a thing that you are shameless. You don't know. You are no. You know. You are lying. Shameless liar. So I had to be true to what I had done. Attacked him vehemently in the messenger, Facebook messenger. And he hasn't blocked me there, but I'm going to block him there. Yeah, it has to be a. You have to give examples. What are the examples that? Huh? What are the examples that ex-Muslims have done nothing, and Neeraj Atri, they have had no influence, no help. They haven't helped any Muslim, but Neeraj Atri is doing a good job. Where? On YouTube, or is he writing books that you tell us to read books? So let's see, with no copyrights infringement intended, let me go to, there is a Muslim here thanking Nuria Khan. And I heard with the Harith Sultan, many, although I don't agree with him, also about what he said to me. So we're going to our channel, then going to our community post. Is this at Apostate Prophet? I want to quickly thank at Apostate Prophet, at Apostate Ridwan, at Nuria Khan K, and Haris at the Haris Sultan for introducing the reality of Islam. All my life, most of the abuse and trauma I went through was because of Islam. Islam is a barbaric faith that treats women, LGBT, Christians, Jews, etc. badly. Holy humanist, uh, this line, Nuria Khan, congratulations on your mental emancipation. Stay safe and stay free. So let me, no, with no copyrights infringement intended, let me go to Nuria Khan, right? Just and her community post here that I just read out. Holy humanist Nuria Khan. Here it is. I want to quickly thank at Apostate Prophet, Apostate Rizwan, at Nuria K, at Dahar Sultan for introducing the reality of Islam. All my life, most of the abuse, trauma. You see this? There are ex-Muslims making a difference on social media. How can apostate imams say they're not making any difference? And someone has told him before also, are you talking about Indian ex-Muslims? That they take money and they just, want to be there maybe for the name and generalizing like this. So thank you. So I saw this after leaving apostate imam that day when he said he's going to block me because if I want to have a confrontation with him, and I was like true about I want to have a confrontation. And he was like, she doesn't understand what I'm saying and all this. No, I don't understand, yes. And many things I disagree how you see it. There have been help for the Muslims leaving Islam. Here, recently, 2 days ago. How can you say? How can apostate Imam say this? Discouraging is so terrible. It's not even the truth, it's proof without, I mean, what is he doing? Already I can't trust in ex-Muslims. I've said against uh, Haris, Haris Sultan that the ex-Muslims don't, you know, cooperate. And I don't know who is a true ex-Muslim, who isn't a true ex-Muslim. Okay, you see this? How can apostate Imam make such unreasonable statements against ex-Muslims on using social media? That they're not, they haven't helped anyone. It's not because of them that Muslims, those who have left Islam, it's because of the education on available now for free on this internet. How can he say this? So this also really, and if he, I was listening to him again, but you know, when he said a little bit later, I said I want to have a confrontation because I was listening half. Like, what is he? Again, he raised the point, like trying to see what else is he going to say against ex-Muslims. So on this, I raised a point, confrontation, meaning interrogate him, confront him with this. How can he speak against us ex-Muslims like this? Challenge him. Say, provide proof. Here I have a proof that we are helping. And who are you talking about? Which ex-Muslim who is not helping Muslims leave Islam? None of them. Or so be precise. What do you mean? But he's not precise. Again and again, he's been warned. Like he's been told, no, no, are you talking about the Indian ex-Muslim, Sahel ex-Muslim or someone? My thing is that I don't know who is true, and they're not even. What the thing is that they're mostly concentrated on the Sunni hadithas. Who will do this? Very few people, very rare. Even on Ismailism, and thanks to the Ismaili, I can safely, I mean, 12 Shias, I can't say, but Ismaili, so, you know, I can safely also critical examination of what they're saying. Say it and share it and help. I won't get killed. Safely protected. I'm safe. The only thing I'm scared about, of that how come the Ismaili Imam believes that he's from the progeny. So, and he's so confident. And he signed with the Sunnis, Jordan, and, that I am the true Imam and this and that, and from my Islam, my progeny, however he's put it in proper words, I can't articulate. So this also, but thank you so much. At least I'm safe from Ismailis protected. There will be no farman against me killing or even putting me in jail for doing this. Helping the Ismailis also leave this. So you see, and then this light is lit back here to the ayat, Surah Nur ayat. So this should be universal, and the burden, so much task on one imam. And then maybe one Ismaili should not be born disabled, should be born or mentally born like that with a mental challenge or a physical challenge. And it has a universal appeal here. And see, from the Ismaili thing, at least on this like proper presentation position of the Ismailis, I can show you that even they agree that this has a general universal appeal. It's a oil, well nigh glows forth, though no fire touched it. No, no. Allah guides his light. Allah guides to his light whom he wills. But they say from here, like it is neither of the west nor of the east. It is lit from the oil blessed olive that is neither eastern nor western. They said this is universal, no place, but a messenger is needed, an imam to guide. So isn't it better to take the Hindu way? But you would say, okay, there are gurus that misguide you. Well, even being in this Ismailism, Ismaili Shia, how shall I put it properly? Um, Islam, Ismaili Shia Islam, you have divorces, God forbid. Like I've known a couple, they were Ismailis. My mother made her hair, and it was jogging. We've had, and I've seen physically challenged Ismaili. Why? Shouldn't this light totally, like miraculously make him well? So it hurts me a lot. Allah guides to his light whom he wills. It doesn't say a believer. Allah sets forth parables to make people understand. Okay, but I would say that people understand once they've understood, they will come to this. So thanks to the Ismailis, the right position of the Ismailis here is in this part of the ayat that neither of the Eastern nor Western, this is universal. Let's see what the Sunnis have to say about this. Light is something which makes things visible, which is itself manifest and helps make other things manifest. The human mind conceives light in this very sense. Absence of light is termed darkness, invisibility and obscurity. On the other hand, when there is visibility and things become exposed to view, man says there is light. Allah has been called light in this basic sense and not in the sense of a beam of light, which travels at the speed of 186,000 miles per second. Now, Peter Russell has explained what kind of a traveling this is. Speed? It doesn't have any speed. Peter Russell is the recent god and stipulates the optic nerve through the retina. This conception of light has nothing to do with the reality of the meaning for which human mind has coined this word. Rather, the word light is used for all those lights which we experience in this physical world. All human words used for Allah are used in this basic sense and meaning and not reference to their physical connotation. For instance, when the word sight is used with respect to Allah, it does not mean that Allah has any eye like men and animals with which He sees. Similarly, when we say that Allah hears or grips or shin of Allah, it doesn't mean that He has a shin. These words are used in a metaphorical sense, and only a man of very poor intelligence would have the misconception that hearing or seeing or grasping is not possible except in the limited and specific sense in which we experience it. Similarly, it will be short sightedness to interpret the word light in the sense of physical light, rays emanating from a luminous body and affecting the retina. This word is not applicable to Allah in its limited sense, but it is absolute sense. In its absolute sense, Peter Russell says that light is absolute. That is, he alone, he even explains it. That is, he alone in this universe is the real and prime cause of manifestation. And there is only manifestation and no creation. Otherwise, there is nothing but darkness here. Huh? Everything which gives light and illuminates other things has received its light from him. It has no light of its own. Universal being. Universal. The light shines through houses of worship which Allah has ordered to be raised, and where His name is mentioned, He is glorified there morning and evening. By men who are not distracted, either by buying or selling, from Allah's remembrance of performing prayer or paying alms tax. They fear a day when hearts and eyes will tremble. So you see, if you come here and you tell me, what about money making? Where shall we go after this? Who are not distracted either by buying or selling from Allah's remembrance. Maybe so. Truth, seeking the truth. So I've got a little bit fundamental from Peter Russell. Understood it. Giving it to you here, hoping that Allah may reward them according to the best of their deeds and increase them out of His grace, and Allah provides for whoever He wills without limit. So this imamat having light, you would say one person has to guide that, the other could be Dajjal, Antichrist, or like the Christians say, misguiding you. There could be these terrible, terrible idol worshippers misguiding you. Quran ayat and also Bible verse on these who believe in idols, so many gods, puffed up. They have so much knowledge. It's a supremacy, puffed up in their knowledge. The same thing can take you to God with their knowledge, spiritual knowledge, right? So, what is good? Having an imam or having someone who says, I don't want you killed because you don't believe in me, or you have to obey this rule and obey that uh, commandments of or my farman saying what I order you to do right now. But you need to find that light within you first. And when you find the existence of God first, then you are your own, you are God. No, but you can be on your own now. Just cooperate with the Imam, everyone who has like saints, sages, and all this. Be your own light, like Jiddu Krishnamurti said. Be your own light. J. Krishnamurti. So this Jiddu Krishnamurti I found very, very consistent. Krishnamurti. But you see, now on being a light to oneself, watch it very carefully in yourself. Please look at it yourself because I'm incapable of seeing the totality of my consciousness. I resort to dividing it. Oh, this has a strict copyright infringement unless you ask the owner, what do you call them? Where is it? It's nighttime. I can't see. Oh, here it is. I was just trying to trying to find something here. It's dark. Very little light. Watch it very carefully. Oh, jkrishnamurti.org teachings. All is this. There's no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society. There's no end to education. So he has said, and when you are a light to yourself, you are a light to the world. Again, no, this one is krishnamurti.org, and I don't know how, this is not jkrishnamurti.org. I don't know about the copyrights and all, whether I have to ask them to, if I can share this for academic purpose or what. Anyhow, so this and what else is there? I think this is the best. This is the best. But I'm still confused about imams. This imam is very good, Ismaili imam. I'm scared for, like, these are messengers, and where did he get the light from? When they choose another imam, this light goes to that imam. And he's not only a spiritual father like imam, and, yeah, he's a spiritual father for his dais. There's no way they can go wrong or anything if they just are sincere to him, their spiritual father. And imam is one who guides you along the way, gives you guidance, should also give you the light, right? And then we purify them with a thorough purification. So look, pure light, pure light. And if you have this pure light, you cannot do all the wrongs and be ignorant in the dark. Although the dark, in Mr. God, this is Anna, Finn, by Finn, the dark stretches your soul. And in the dark, no one can define you, not even yourself. You are undefinable. So, the Hindus take Shiva also, nothingness, darkness, in a positive way. And I also love the night at times. Sometimes I'd like to wake up early morning. Light is absolute then and fundamental, says Peter Russell. But this is in my own words, this part. I should have put it in blue. It's not creation, but manifestation. This part I put in my own words. So this is it. Now I have to uh, try to make notes, then it sits in my mind. Like, okay, I've got it here in writing. What Peter Russell has said, the faster we go, the heavier we get. Light can travel at the speed of light, and that is no speed. Zero. Because it has no mass, it's always zero mass. Universe in light's point of view. No distance, no time. From its point of view, light doesn't go anywhere. Light's not going anywhere. It doesn't have any movement. Space-time continuum equals fixed and always appears in a fixed ratio. Please, I'm doing a really poor job at this. But you go and see his video, please, if you're interested. You must, not just here on this. So, fixed and always appears in a fixed ratio. When we observe this, what happens? Through light. So that's where he makes the connection. What happens to the world? It's all inside, not outside. Sorry for the whistling. So light is absolute. So everything we're seeing is actually inside us. It's like a virtual seeing, simulation as they call it, reality. It's like seeing in a mirror, seeing everything in a mirror. So when we observed this, I had to stop. I became too overwhelmed. But then after some day, oh God, I was so overwhelmed with feeling. I was like, oh my God, this is how the Imam should have explained to us. When Imam Jafar Sadiq got the time, he wasn't being persecuted or anything, we were told by the Umayyads, enemies of Islam. When before that, his father, Imam Muhammad Baqir. So Imam has written something about light. And I was so overwhelmed reading that book, but now no more. He was a scientist, like, I was studying law and I had to leave it and not practice and go into, like, I had a choice, buy Richard Dawkins' book on God the Delusion or Jiddu Krishnamurti. I bought Jiddu Krishnamurti and then never stopped buying his books. It was unstoppable. Oh my God, it's like God has come and told us. This is amazing. So look at my way. I'm trying to search God is existence. Is God existence then? Mulla Sadra, essence or existence? Is it just then I read Mullah Sadra, but I couldn't understand what he was saying. Then, when going through is God then pure existence? Is it just organic? Look at where I've come down to. Organic existence. No, no, it is mind, body, and existence for humans. There is existence of atoms. What is this? It is the existence of energy, primal energy. So the common factor for all is existence, right? And is this God fundamental? What everything exists because God is light, and it is a manifestation, not creation. So a blink of an eye can. If God removes Himself, He can't. We're gone. There would be nothing. Shiva, nothing without this light of God. It would only take closing of God's, how? Just, if there was no light, no God. So God is light, right? Or is God, no, but maybe even God is the source of light. There is Shiva. The nothing. Is darkness the source of light? Shadows tell us what? Anna. Let's see. So beware of. So here we are. My notes from Haris Sultan. Um, Mr. God, this is Anna. Except Finn, hold this one up for me. I held the cutout in the beam of the light. What did she want a shadow of a shadow for? I wondered. Not that way. Hold it perpendicular to the sheet. Righty, R. I replied, holding the paper shadow perpendicular to the sheet. What you see, Finn? I turned to her. Her eyes were screwed tight, shut. She wasn't looking. A straight line. Now the next one. So this I have read, right? Straight lines. Then what did Anna want a shadow for? A shadow for? To find this dot. Then can you hold a line perpendicular to the screen? In your head, I mean. What would you see, Finn? What, eh? A spot, I answered. Yes. Her smile was brighter than the beam of the magic lantern. I still don't get what you're on about. That's what a number is. I suppose the nicest compliment ever paid to me was Anna's silence. That silence I interpreted as, well, you've got the intelligence to finish it off yourself, so get to it. I did, mind you. My mental gymnastics always ended up with, do you mean that it did this time? I started off, do you mean to say that what she meant to say was this? If a number, say 7, could be used to count things as diverse as banknotes and babies, books and bats, then all these diverse things must have something in common, some common factor unnoticed and unattended to. What could it be? Things had shadows. Having a shadow was a positive indication that something existed. A shadow lost you many the things that you could not count, like redness and sweetness, and that was good, but it left you with shapes. A shadow had still got too much information attached to it. So we need to let go of all this, find the common factor. Since shadows were different, you obviously had to lose some more information. Now, since a shadow lost you a lot of useless information, then it was reasonable to suppose that a shadow of a shadow would lose you some more. So it did, if and only if you held the shadow perpendicular to the screen. Then all shadows became a straight line, became straight lines. The fact that all these straight lines were of different lengths was something else you didn't want. But the solution to this was easy. Simply make all the straight lines cast shadows, and there you are. What all these what all these diverse things had in common, the thing you really counted with, a number, was the shadow of a shadow of a shadow, which was a dot. Every scrap of uncountable information had been lost by this method. What was left? This was it. This what you counted. Numbers, scientists, mathematicians. Having reduced all the multitude of things to a common essence, the dot, the thing that you really counted. Anna proceeded to unwind things again. With a pencil in one hand, she plonked a dot on a clean sheet of paper. Ain't it wonderful, Finn? She said, pointing to the dot. That might be the shadow of a shadow of a shadow of me, or a bus, or anything, or it might be you. I had a look at myself. I didn't recognize myself, but I got the point. So have we missed the point? Have you missed the point? She unwound a dot to a straight line to a shape, from shape to an object, from an object to a dash, 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 dash. Before she knew where she was climbing like a monkey up the tree of higher and higher dimensions. An object, you see, might after all be the shadow of something more complex. And that something might be the shadow of something even more complex. And so on. The mind boggles at the thought. But there was really nothing to it, so I was told. Once you had managed to reduce everything to a dot, you couldn't reduce it any further. That was the end of the line, but as soon as you start to unwind things again, well, where did you stop? There was no reason why you shouldn't go on forever. Except, of course, that there was one thing in this universe that was so complex that it couldn't become any more so. Even I guessed that one. None other than Mr. God. Anna had reached the ends of an infinite series of dimensions. At one end of the series was a dot. At the other, Mr. God. Mr. God, this is Anna by Finn passage. And you know, Anna says that shadows move faster than in this book. Shadows move faster than light. But Peter Russell says that light has zero velocity, speed, mass, nothing. It has nothing, just light. And what is a photon? Shadows move, oh no, shadows move, let me just search it out like this, faster than light. Mr. God, this is Anna by Finn. Oh, let me see. I've got this book. I had to buy it again online, but I can't show you because it says you can't really share it. Mathematical physicists may be interested in Anna's observation that a shadow can move faster than the speed of light, even with relativity taken into account. Alex Kazman, kazmana.people.cofc.edu. So, well, a fellow called Einstein has figured out that nothing can go faster than light. All right, then, tell me what goes faster than light. Shadows. Hindsight.com. Let me go there and see if we can find this. You're not. So I couldn't find this quote that I found outside. Suffered only physically, mentally, and emotionally. Chapter 1. Died in an accident. Seemed quite possible that she dropped out of heaven. I can't find that image. Mr. God didn't at all mind making himself small. People thought that Mr. God was very big. That's where they made a big mistake. If he couldn't be little, how could he know what it's like to be a ladybird? After all, Mr. God did not have only one point of view, but an infinity of viewing points. And the whole purpose of living was to be like Mr. God. Just imagine what kind of an object Mr. God must be if he accepts everything, if he reflects absolutely nothing back. This, said Anna, is being a real God. This is what we were being asked to do, throw away our pieces of colored glass and see clearly. She very soon came to the conclusion that the most hazardous aspect of writing or talking was the use of descriptive words. She invented her own language. Squillions and squillions. It took a little time for all this to sink in, but it was true. The real God doesn't reflect anything, means he accepts everything, he's empty. The real God is empty. Shiva, Shiva, Shiva. Chapter 4. I suppose to some extent all children have a touch of magic about them, like some mysterious living lens. They seem to have the capacity to focus the light into the darkest and gloomiest of places. And this one had it in a very high degree. Perhaps it's the very newness of the young, or perhaps it's just because the shine hasn't worn off. Every person, everything that you know has got Mr. God in the middle. And so you have got their Mr. God in your middle too. It's easy. Trying to keep up with Anna and her ideas could be a very exhausting business. So the saga was out, definitely. Warned. Finn, is church sex? What do you mean, is church sex? It puts seeds in your heart and makes new things come. That's why it's Mr. God and not Mrs. God. Oh, is it? Well, it might be, it might be. She went on. I think lessons is sex too. She paused for a few moments. Am I a lady? Almost, I reckon. I can't have babies though, can I? Well, not quite yet, but I can have new ideas, can't I? You sure can. So it's like having a baby a bit, ain't it? Could be. I got the idea that she was trying to put over. All the universe has got a sex like quality about it. Shivalingam. It is seminal and productive at the same time. The seeds of words produced ideas, the seeds of ideas produce goodness, knows what. The whole blessed thing is male and female at one and the same time. In fact, the whole thing is pure sex. Chapter 5, is it in this? At odd moments, I find myself angered when I ask the question how much of what I was taught was a matter of convenience? See, angers me too. Deception and all this. As far as Anna was concerned, one thing was absolutely certain Mr. God had made everything. There was nothing but God hadn't made, that God hadn't made. When you began to see what it was all about, how things worked, how things were put together, then you were beginning to understand what Mr. God was being, what Mr. God was. Being outside Mr. God and measuring him gave you properties, seemingly an unending list. Particular choice of properties that you made produced that particular kind of religion that you subscribed to. On the other hand, being inside Mr. God gave you the function. And then we were all the same. No different churches, no temples, no mosques, etc., etc. We were all the same. What's the function, did you say? Oh, the function of Mr. God is another one of those simple things. The function of Mr. God is to make you like him. The various uh, religions merely measure the properties, or some of them for you. It doesn't really matter what color you are, what creed you subscribe to. Mr. God shows no preference in his function. I think, yeah, this is how it should be, I agree. She said, I can't know everything. Suppose your noddle's not big enough. That's the outside. Pardon me, I forgot. I can know everything inside. We giggled together, both free but both now unfettered. We shared the same kind of world. We were warmed by the same kind of fire. We both stood on the same spot, on the same road, going the same way. Our relationship was now clear to me. We were fellow searchers, companions, like spirits. Very miraculous, but useful. Where's that shadow? No, no, sorry. No, shadows move faster than light. Take away things. Latin mirrors, wonderful. Ah, mirror to wonder at, and that miracle came from Latin mirrors. Wonderful. We knew that Mr. God had made man in his own image. So could it be, was it possible? We all know that Mr. God made man in his own image, and images are found in mirrors. Mirrors turned you back to front or left to right. Images were take away things. So putting it all together, Mr. God was and Mr. God is on one side of the mirror. Mr. God was on the add side. We were on the other side of the mirror, so we were on the takeaway side. We ought to have known that. Occasionally, Mr. God sees fit to do something about Mr. God's hole. He sort of fills it up for them. It was what we called a miracle. So Mr. God keeps on shedding bits all the way through your life until the time comes when you admit freely and honestly that you don't understand Mr. God at all. At this point, you let Mr. God be in his proper size, and wham, there he's laughing at you. Anna got involved in everything and anything. Her involvement was on such a deep level that very little ever frightened her. She was ready to meet everything on its own terms. God stuff behaved itself. True God stuff was sometimes very difficult to grab hold of. Mr. God had, it seemed, told the numbers just what they were and just how to behave. I wish we were numbers. Numbers knew exactly where and how they belonged in the scheme of things. Things had shadows. Having a shadow was a positive indication that something existed. And then we go with this unreasonable Suppose that a shadow of a shadow would lose you some more. So, you know, Jesus said, don't you? I am the light. First, we have Mr. God, and we know that He is light. Then we have an object, and we know this is Mr. God's creation. And finally, we have the screen on which shadows are formed. Well, a fellow called Einstein has figured out that nothing can go faster than light. All right, then. Tell me what goes faster than light? Shadows, said Anna. In the first place, I wasn't at all sure myself what the right way was. So naturally, Anna had to find out ways for herself. That's what made it all so difficult for me. So this is how much we have in this on this website. Hindsight about shadows, or maybe, oh, Anna tried to rescue a kitten in a tree, and she fell. You could wish denial Mr. God existed, but then any denial didn't alter the fact that Mr. God was. So shadows. I had the book, and now I don't have it anymore. Like I could type some things out of it, and then come up, with shadow thing. They go through a whole experiment. It's like 2, 3 pages. I'll have to write. So I don't have that much. I can't do that right now. So here like I won't be able to do that even afterwards. For Anna, death was the gateway to possibilities. Why did Mr. God rest on the seventh day? She began. He didn't rest because he was tired, though. That's the biggest miracle. Rest is being dead is a rest. She went on. Being dead, you can look back and get all straight before you go on. Dying needed a certain amount of preparation, and only preparation for dying was real living. Let Mr. God be. He lets us be, don't we? No. We put Mr. God into little boxes. Yes, all the time, because we don't really love him. We got to let Mr. God be free. That's what love is. We're all playing the same chord, but it seems we don't know it. I call myself a Christian. What do you call yourself? I reckon Mr. God must be pretty good at music. He knows all the names of the chords. Perhaps he doesn't mind what you call it, as long as you play it. Shadows moved. It was all very miraculous. All the Platonic figures were made out of mirrors, plus a few shapes that Plato never dreamed of. Ours were just that bit different. We got inside ours and saw things that language would be hard to put to describe. Hard put to describe. One evening it was suggested that the mirror book was something more. It was a miracle book. I guess it's about the mirror book they had, wonder and all this. And then chapter 7, Anna numbers knew exactly how to behave. First we have Mr. God, and we know that he's light. Wow, words. Those words that began with WH. Whoa. And these, so far as Anna was concerned, were question words. What, which, where, why, who, all question words, the well behaved question words. The answer had a certain satisfaction. You never quite know where you're going to land. Language was hard to put when trying to describe or explain the concept of heaven, but then language depended upon the senses. It was really most unimportant, whatever the description of heaven was, and that was really most unimportant. It didn't describe a place but the inhabitants. Any place could be heaven where the senses were perfect. Mr. God's senses were perfect. Well, it stands to reason to be able to see us over impossibly immense distances, to hear us and to know our thoughts were not unreasonable characteristics of Mr. God, or for that matter, the angels either. Every minute of every day Anna lived, she totally accepted her life, and in accepting life, accepted death. Also, it's coming a death, then don't we? Okay, I've read this. Then mom works first. Mr. God's light outside is. Yes, continued Anna. Mr. God, the light inside us. Okay, it's is so we can see the Mr. God light outside us. And Finn just jumped up and down with excitement as she rounded it all off. The Mr. God light outside us. It's so we can see the Mr. God light inside us. It's really Mr. God that's me, that's inside me, and that's outside me. But it's all Mr. God. Chalk, not for a long dog walk. I don't suppose we've come to the end of it yet, not by a long chalk. Okay. Yes, continued Anna. The Mr. God light inside us is so as we can see the Mr. God light outside us. Chapter 10. Anna was talking to flowers, earth, to the earth, humanity asking the rest of the world for forgiveness. I knew that she wasn't all right. I knew that the horror of the impending war had struck deep down inside her. I realized how much I needed her assurance that she was all right, how much her sheer sanity protected me, how she managed it. I truly don't know, but in some manner she had scaled the walls of God's majesty, his awe-inspiring nature, and was on the other side. Mr. God was a sweetie. Mr. God was fun. Mr. God was lovable. Mr. God was, for Anna, pretty straightforward. You could, if you wish, deny that Mr. God existed, and then any denial didn't alter the fact that Mr. God was. God is our center, and yet it is we who acknowledge that He is the center that makes us somehow internal to Mr. God. This is the curious nature of Mr. God that even while He is at the center of all things, He waits outside us and knocks to come in. It is we who open the door. Mr. God doesn't break it down and come in. No, He knocks and waits. Fancy Mr. God taking second place. Oh, what's He want me to do then? Love everybody like you love yourself. And you've got to be full up with you to love yourself properly first. You don't have to want things outside you to fill up the gaps inside you. You're all of a piece. You're what Mr. God wants you to be. And I am like He is. It didn't dawn on me what Mr. God was doing. All this time He had been working overtime, trying to knock a bit of sense into my noddle, trying to turn an it is into an I am. I got the message. A couple of peaks inside me, and I realized that I was beginning to fill up. I could saved Anna, and oh, the thing about shadows move faster than light. That's still left in detail. So thank you. I have to leave now. I have a craving for tea, neurotic craving. Thank you so much. God bless you. Leave this religion and leave all religions and find what you find within you, the light, God. I hope you do. Thank you so much.